I can't believe I'm going to say this. America's doing 1,000 times worse than South Korea when it comes to the coronavirus. Probably worse than that, to be honest. What's up, everyone? It's Alex Sigrist, and I'm here hitting my microphone to talk to you about something that happened, Sunday. It didn't really happen Sunday. It happened the days before, but anyway, I was waking up after having some whiskey the night before, and I saw that the U.S. had 58,000 new cases of coronavirus reported. I believe it was Saturday by the New York Times, so it might have been Friday's numbers. I was like, 58,000, that's insane. Those numbers are going back up again. I can't believe this is happening in the U.S. Wouldn't it be crazy? I literally thought this. Wouldn't it be crazy if Korea had exactly 1,000 times less, or, 58? Because I know we're around that number recently. What if they had 58 cases? If they have 58 cases, I'm going to go into the studio on Sunday and film a bunch of videos, including this one. And sure enough, I didn't want to come. I wanted to rest at home after the whiskey. 58 cases. 58 cases in Korea. It's even less if you include the fact that I think like a couple of those cases were from the not locally transmitted. Okay, so the United States has literally 1,000 times more confirmed cases in a day than South Korea does. Not 1,000 more cases. 1,000 times the amount. 58,398 cases in the United States for October 9th. And again, it's because we're a half day off. I'm going to use the October 10th numbers. 58 cases in Korea. 58,398 cases in the United States. 58 cases in Korea. Not 58,000, 58. So let's take a look at the Korean population versus the U.S. population. The population of Korea is around 51.64 million, 2018 numbers. And the population of the United States is 328 million, roughly 2019 numbers. So, it's about 6.3, 6.4 times the size of Korea in terms of population. The United States is. So if you consider the population difference, you are still 158 times more likely to get the coronavirus in the United States than you are in Korea. A country which is literally a tiny fraction of the size. People are like hugging each other in the subways. It's so packed here. So Seoul has roughly, here's an example of two big cities, right? Seoul has roughly 2 million more people than New York, but is actually 75 square miles or 194 square kilometers smaller than New York City. So Korea is a much more tightly packed country. It would make sense that we would spread coronavirus a little bit faster than the United States, but we're not. And this is insane. 1,000 times the difference. 1,000. That's mind-blowing to me that the U.S. is doing that much worse. Worst in the world. It's terrible. How do you even account for that? I mean, we all know the answer, to be honest. It is the President of the United States and his lack of leadership. Tired of people saying, well, it's just a virus. It's gonna do its thing. We just gotta learn to live with it. No, you don't have to learn to live with 58,000 cases a day. That's insane. In Korea, we got freaked out because we went over 300 cases. We freaked out because we went over 200 cases. Then we got up to 450 or 448 on the top day recently in August. And we brought it back down to under 100 for 4 days in a row as of the time of this filming. Does that mean it's not going to go back up? It could go back up. Sure, it could. But I guarantee it won't go up to 58,000 within the next month or two. And knock on wood for that one. So, I mean, you might think this is a video that's just bashing Trump and the Republicans who are supporting him and the people who aren't wearing masks. And it is. It absolutely is. But I do want to step back a little bit and say that America has learned a little bit. I'm actually surprised by the amount of family members, like extended family and friends at home, who have embraced the idea of wearing masks. I mean, that's a huge step. If you've seen my videos from before, Americans were not wearing masks. Not even 50% would be wearing them. But I think nowadays people are shaming people at the grocery stores into wearing masks. I would bet around 70% of people at least are comfortable with wearing masks. So I know America's doing a better job than they were before, but somehow the number 58,000 cases in the U.S. is insane. Now, I looked at the map with individual states. And part of that reason is a lot of the states that didn't have bad cases before are actually kind of shooting up, like South Dakota, North Dakota, and a few other states in that area, in that region. They're shooting up probably because they didn't have many cases, and their citizens probably didn't take it seriously because they didn't see that many cases around them with their friends and family. And now those numbers are going back up. One more thing I just realized. I don't have the number in front of me, but the number of deaths in America was around 940. I think it was like 941. And then let's see if I have that around me. I sent myself these photos. They should have these somewhere, right? Let's see. 915 deaths in the U.S. on October 9th. That number is, oh, come on, math, don't fail me now. Almost 18 times? I have no idea. It's almost 18 times the number of actual new cases of coronavirus in Korea. Nuts. Like, why don't people care that like 3 Boeing 747s are, that many people are dying a day? 1,000, did I even have 1,000 people in my high school? More than 1,000 people. No, I didn't have 1,000 people in high school. There are more people that die every day than were in my high school, 4 years of high school, back in Columbus, Ohio. It wasn't a huge high school, to be fair. But these numbers kind of show one thing, is that we can't keep living like this. Well, Americans, you can't keep living like this. I'm in Korea. I'm doing pretty well. You can't keep living in a place where rules aren't being respected and you want to get back to normal as quickly as possible. You haven't earned the right yet. I've said that before and I'm going to say it again. America hasn't earned the right to go back to a normal life. They haven't earned the right to go back to playing sports, where football teams in the National Football League have had to postpone or delay games because there have been outbreaks on the football team. I think that the NBA did a good job, relatively speaking, of making sure their players quarantine and kind of live in a bubble while they play. Once America has like that kind of level of organization where they've actually learned not just how to live with the virus, but how to really minimize the risk of the virus, which they're not doing at all. Once that's happened in all areas of life, then I think America deserves the right to open up their restaurants again and open up schools fully, send them back to school. I want kids to go back to school. I want restaurants to open. I don't want small businesses to fail. But like, you just haven't earned it yet. I'm tired of saying it. I do think a change in the presidency would be nice, and I think there would actually be an administration that would take this seriously. So I think that's something we could look forward to if everything goes well in early November. Don't forget to vote. But man, think about that. 1,000 times more cases than South Korea. 1,000. South Korea was epicenter number 2. Now America's got 1,000 more cases a day and only 6.3, 6.4 times the population. Really hope America gets their act together and figures this all out, because I want to be able to go home soon, and I'm not going to be able to go home if you don't. It's too dangerous there, and even if I go there and come back to Korea, I still have to do a 14-day quarantine, which would mean I lose all my radio jobs, so I can't really do that now. That's all I got. That's all I got. Just an amazing update. I don't even know. I should just post it on Sunday anyway with my other video. We'll see. Hope you're all doing well. Please stay safe. Continue wearing masks. Listen to scientists, not just the one doctor scientist that Trump employs. Listen to all the scientists and whatever they tell you to do or whatever they tell you is best. And, yeah, stay safe. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Haseyo.